heavy. What is up, friends? It's Saturday. It's Cole. This is Bella, and welcome to another edition of Paperboy. So aside from trying to get a tan on these shoulders, this week we are talking about traveling safely as a trans individual. So I will be doing some travel next month, and I've done a little bit of research into this, so I'll share with you kind of what I figured out so far. First thing I always do, and I suggest this if you are trans, if you're non-trans, just if you're traveling, is research the area you're going to. I always search for kind of queer-friendly hotels or queer-friendly restaurants. You always want to make sure that you have like a couple places that if you're having a rough day, or if you find that the places you've been going to haven't been very comfortable, you have a place to fall back on and go to and know that you're going to be comfortable there. Because we all got to eat and we all got to sleep. And this is something that Shell suggested earlier this week, but I'm going to reiterate that, is download an app called Refuge Restroom. It will tell you where the gender-neutral bathrooms are in your vicinity. But just in general, I always look for a Starbucks or a Target, just because I know that they have either a single bathroom or a family restroom or something else that I can use. When it comes to flying and TSA, you have the right to ask for a pat down instead of going through that imaging machine that they have, which I know that I will be planning on doing, just because I know that from wearing a binder, my chest is going to look a little different, and I kind of want to avoid any awkwardness. So with that, of course, comes who's going to be patting me down. And I found out that the gender of the person patting me down will coincide with the gender marker that's on my current documentation, which still says female. And quite honestly, at this moment, I think I'm a little bit more comfortable with that rather than a male patting me down. You know, that will change, I'm sure, as I progress in my transition. But for now, that's what I feel comfortable with, so I'm totally cool with that. If you're not comfortable being pat down in front of all of the other passengers, you can ask for a private screening, in which case I would suggest bringing a friend with you, just so it's not you and some person alone in a room, because that can be very uncomfortable for anyone, really. And know that you have the right at any point, whether you feel uncomfortable or not, to ask for a supervisor to be present. We all want to make sure that we stay safe. We all want to make sure that TSA is doing things according to the book. They have no right to ask you any sort of inappropriate questions, and if they do, you don't have to answer them. They should not be asking you to remove articles of clothing outside of maybe a hat, a jacket that you're wearing, or your shoes. Maybe socks, I really don't know, but they shouldn't be asking you to take off your pants, and they should not be asking you to take off your shirt, so keep that in mind. When it comes to flying with your medications, i.e. hormones and syringes, or gels, whatever it is that you take, but just make sure it's in a packaging that has the prescription label on it. I take T injections, so my vial will be in the box that has my prescription label on it. And my syringes come in a weird way. They put the sterile packaging inside of just a Ziploc bag, and then the Ziploc bag has my prescription label on it. So when I travel with my syringes, I'll make sure that they go back in that Ziploc bag inside of the sterile package. And if I'm going away for a week and I know I'll need to take one injection, I'll probably bring 2 syringes just in case. I'm an over-preparer, and it just makes me feel more comfortable to know that I have a backup should, say, something happens in travel and one of the syringes like cracks or something. I don't know what can happen. And my last tip is actually really simple. Take a deep breath. You're trying to get from one destination to another, just like every other human that's out there in that same space that you are. She's about to start working. Yeah, I shouldn't have put her down. Time is money. So be confident, stay calm, take your safety precautions, and you'll be fine. You know, if this is your first time traveling, it'll just be the first time out of many, and you'll learn from whatever went not according to plan the first time. But again, it's been Saturday. I'm always Cole. Big love, friends, and happy 4th of July.